Hi Virgo, welcome to your October reading. This is going to be just a general spread for the month of October, see what's going on. I mean, I've already pulled some cards here, and there's a clear message here about kind of being your unique self is what I'm feeling. It's kind of like a coming into your own. I feel like this has been a long process of kind of this rising confidence, rising knowingness. Some of you might even be like on a spiritual path. It's almost like knowing like, oh, I'm able to actually treat somebody. So typically on the spiritual path, the healer, I feel like people think that they have to be completely perfect to be able to help somebody else, and it's just not the case. I find personally when I go to people that I find their realness to be very refreshing. I find it very nice to hear people with stories of, not that I'm looking for their struggle, but relatability. I've been through this, therefore, you know, I'm here with you. I feel like there's magic in the flaws, and I know that might not be what a Virgo might want to hear. But it's true. So there's an element of embracing yourself, embracing what you've been through. Inevitably, all of us are kind of going through these dark night of the soul type of, I don't know, crashing realizations or wanting change, you know, and it's like, how do I fit this puzzle together? And I feel like we're all kind of there right now. I'm definitely seeing it in your cards. That's why I'm bringing it up. I'm seeing like this long period of like thinking about something. So there's something that you have been thinking about doing, whether it's, I mean, it's all related to the Uranus and Taurus. So it's relationships, work, where we live, you know, these three things. I feel particularly drawn to talk about your finances though. So how you make your money, how you feel abundant in general. And I think it's interesting. You're showing up as the Nine of Pentacles. I mean, to me, this is like a very like optimal time to be creating, optimal time for things to grow. So if you've been thinking about, because the bottom of the deck, oh, interesting, right below is the World. The bottom of the deck, as I'm looking at your spread, is the Chariot. So this is about confidence, this is the level of self-knowing. Again, well, not in this card, but typically his chariot's adorned with stars. He goes confidently in his destined direction. There's no question about it. And when I'm seeing the World, interesting, some of you can be thinking about, you know, a significant change, a significant ending to a cycle. Feels like though, because there's a level of experience. So if you've been, it's almost like the apprentice graduating. So if you have been going through some sort of learning process, because I'm seeing the Three of Pentacles, like growing, learning, studying, working with somebody, it's saying you've kind of reached this point where it's like there needs to be more. So if it's within the context of a job, maybe applying for something higher up, there's something here clearly about advancement and not being completely fulfilled where you are. So if you are kind of sitting back passively waiting for just blessings and opportunities to just come to you, like the boss just wants to give you a big old raise, I feel like you need to ask for it. There's an element of having that confidence about what you deserve and the changes that you need to experience. There's a powerful element of knowing this and being able to actually verbalize it, to be able to ask for it. The same energy goes for relationships, although I don't see like a heavy emphasis in your reading about this. I feel like there's a lot of personal reflection, personal work. It feels like about your place in the world. It feels like, where am I going? What will make me feel full, feel purposeful? I feel like on my path. Because there's some element about where you have been or where you were that you don't want to deal with anymore. It can have to do with a King of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn that you're dealing with. It's interesting that this is in the cross position. I'm curious if this is like a boss energy that you feel an element of like allegiance to, because this is the card of feeling stuck and not really knowing how to get out. So maybe you just feel very like loyal to them. And it's crossed here by I mean, the King of Pentacles, again, it's very slow energy. This can be you like wanting to go in a new direction, knowing in your heart that there's something here that you want to experience outside of the current experience is what it's showing me. And I feel like you've been sitting on this for a while, because in the past energy is the Hanged Man. It came out in reversed, which is interesting because most of this deck I usually check and make sure it's upright. If it's in reverse, I'll read it in reversal. I mean, this is talking about, you know, it's time to, I feel like you already know, because the Hangman is waiting for the enlightenment to then come out. I feel like you already know and you're still here. So there's a coming out of this feeling of being stuck. And I feel like a lot of us feel this way, just, you know, the nature of what we're going through as a collective in the world, right? You know, like I was talking to Taurus about, look at Australia, you know, it's literally like a prison state. I mean, people cannot go anywhere. So there's that literal, actual being stuck. And I feel like because, again, Libra season that we're entering into is about justice, is about fairness, is about things balancing out. I think we're going to see a lot of changes and energy opening up where things were imbalanced, coming back into that sense of fairness. And I feel like we're totally recalibrating everything. And I know it's a very difficult place to be, just witnessing the world. And I'm definitely an advocate of kind of standing in your truth, having very strong boundaries about what you'll accept and what you'll not accept. But I also feel like knowing this, having this faith in the back of your mind, that things are crumbling to be rebuilt in a way that's better. That we won't go back to this experience ever again. Our children won't. You know, there won't be this happening again. It's a very unique experience that we're all having on Earth. And it's interesting. I mean, it's talking about, I'm saying this because it's interesting. It's talking about government. The Hierophant is in the position of what you need to know, what's in your power. Again, this is talking about new opportunities in work. You know, this is contracts, this is new agreements being made, and it's clarified with the star. So it's telling me that it's happening in a way that it's like the best way possible. I know it might not seem like that, but there's something here where there's something coming in here that makes you feel really firm and grounded here. This is a side note for some of you. Some of you could have been, it's kind of like this apprenticeship energy. It's like learning something to get somewhere. So if you're in a company, it's like, you know, climbing the ladder. It's telling me that you're kind of at this place now where you could either be at the top of it or at a place where you're able to kind of go out and start something on your own. I feel like a sense of mastery. So that might be causing a lot of the turmoil that you're feeling, a lot of that stuckness, because essentially it's not really what was a good fit. It's no longer a good fit anymore. And I'm seeing it here. I mean, it's like putting a lot of work in and not feeling like the fruits of your labor. Maybe you're not getting paid enough. Maybe you're not being mentally stimulated enough. There's an element of that. But this is here pushing you forward to make you make that move, to make you make that change. It's happening for you, not to you. That's what the message feels like. And I did pull, it's a Work Your Light Oracle card. And it's interesting, you pulled Sisterhood of the Rose, and it says Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, Teacher, which is essentially the Hierophant. The Hierophant is what, right? The Pope. So the Pope is clear, he's knowledgeable, but he has that channel, that direct connection with divine traditionally, right? And he channels for the people, for the goodness of others. There's a level of mastery here, I'm telling you. It's going to be different for everybody. But mastery to me is accepting all our flaws, everything, just accepting everything. There's a huge power within this, not needing to change anything, just showing up every day and doing your best. So let's read this. Okay, Sisterhood of the Rose. The Sisterhood of the Rose is a lineage of priestesses and mystics who devote their lives to serving humanity and seeding light consciousness all over the earth. A cross-section of ancient lineages, it is the path of devotion and beauty. Walking this path means being devoted to seeing and creating beauty wherever you go. The rose symbolizes the heart and the sacred geometry of all life. You are being called to notice the beauty around you, particularly in nature, and hear the whispers of Mother Earth. You are being called to spend more time in nature, as all the ancient secrets live there. Yeah. Mother Earth is constantly whispering, spending time admiring her creations, and you will be rewarded with insight and grace. You are being called to take a little more time to both notice the beauty that exists all around you and contribute to the beauty of the world in your own way too. This could be through your own creations or in the little things, like how you dress, to picking flowers for your home. Every time you devote your time to creating beauty, you harmonize the planet a little more and the shift in vibration can be felt. Oh, it's so interesting. There's a Virgo that I lived with him in Peru that this feels very appropriate for her. Now that I think of this whole reading, it feels actually quite appropriate. Very, very smart. Very much so coming into their own power. Different and unique. Very connected to the earth. We got along very well. Because I'm a Taurus, if you guys don't know. I love other earth signs. There's something very comfortable about being around them. This is a coming into self, a realization of self, and kind of finding that power within to kind of pivot into that new experience that you're wanting to experience. And I feel like that's kind of the balance, the inner equilibrium, that inner peace being made within yourself. It feels powerful. It feels like it's like a beautiful jump off point to go in a direction that you've been wanting to go in. I'm curious what it is. Some of you might just be like starting your own business or moving across the world. I mean, there's moments where I want to do that lately. Like, can I get in? Like, what does that look like? It's hard. I feel like the next few months, though, we're going to see a lot of changes around the world. It's going to be very beautiful next few months. So if you're feeling like a loss of hope, have faith. That's actually your overarching card. I didn't read these. I typically read these for my personal readings. I always pull these cards. They let me know the weather of what you're working on. So faith is coming through very strongly. It says, do not lose faith. The storm clouds will soon clear and the sun will shine once more. It's talking about Archangel Michael and harmony here. I might as well just show them all to you. I don't usually show these, but so harmony is working on the disharmonies. It's almost like tuning a guitar. It's just like working out some energies this month where you feel unaligned. And then we have Archangel Michael. It says, as you do this, the path kind of just opens. The path is now clear. You can move forward with ease and confidence. You will achieve what your heart desires. I would call in this energy. If you have a religion, if you have any type of faith, why not tap into that? If it's Jesus, ask Jesus. I've been seeing that him in a lot of my readings, personal readings, interestingly enough, lately. Been coming through, which isn't always the case. It's beautiful. Yeah, it is what it is. So I think I'm going to leave it here. Big changes. It's interesting. Again, if love was forefront, I would read it that way, but I'm not seeing that this month. I see there's definitely a more personal experience happening this month. And you know what? Mercury retrogrades here. Maybe it's not the best time to jump into something. Typically, Mercury retrograde brings around the past and karmic, things to review. Like, do I want to go down that path again? It's best to kind of just sit back and watch things. That's what I feel this month. So if you came looking for a love reading, don't shoot the messenger. Don't be mad at me. To me, it feels like all is possible as things are kind of shifting right now, and it's finding that inner equilibrium, which from there you can manifest, harmony. Creating it within first is paramount. All right, I'm gonna leave it here, Virgo. But again, if you want a personal reading, I'll leave my information below. And thank you guys for all your support, your subscribes, likes, comments. It helps me buy groceries. That's basically all YouTube does for me, but I enjoy it. So anyways, thanks you guys so much, and I'll see you soon. All right, bye.